Hello, I'm Sarah Parnell and welcome to the director's commentary version of my film. You can see right from the beginning that the lighting is really dramatic. It follows her throughout the film, kind of acting like a character in its own right, chasing her, adding to the threatening atmosphere. I played around with the height of the camera to add some interest. I actually ended up using a cloth modifier for her skirt. It gave me a little bit of a headache sometimes because it popped out of place, or she left it behind, or her knees went through it, or it just screwed up into a weird little ball of polygons. But I did try using other methods like skin wrapping or putting bones in the skirt, but none of it looked as good as the cloth, so I just used the cloth and gritted my teeth and found ways of getting around all the problems. Throughout my film, characters or pillars or doors will appear on a third on the screen just because it makes for a nice composition. In order to keep my visual style and my genre, I decided to make the theatre look quite gothic in appearance with lots of pointed arches and things. If you have a look at my animatic, you can actually see that a lot of the shots are pretty much the same. I didn't stray too far away from my original idea. As far as colour goes, you can probably notice that the theatre is in cold colours, as are the creatures, the strangers who are chasing the little girl, whereas the girl herself is in contrasting red and green, which makes her stand out against the cold background. All the effects for the creatures, the strangers, were done after I'd rendered all the film off, so they were all done in post-production. In the end, I made about 5 different models for the masks, full-face mask, and 4 models of smaller masks that could go on top of the full-face mask. As well as this, I had about 40-something textures which could be applied to all these different masks to really give the creatures some variety, since I used the same body for them all. I think it actually worked quite well. Obviously, I wouldn't have time to actually model the whole crowd, so it was a good way of getting around it. Here you can see that the little girl is in the same position on the screen through several different shots, which just makes the editing flow better. The girl's rig is pretty basic really, although it has got a few little extras, like her hair does swing around when she moves her head and things like that. I have to be quite careful with the skinning, obviously, because there are shots where she's reaching up for doors and things like that, so I had to make sure that the skinning was up to scratch to be able to cope with the animation. Okay, well that's the end of my commentary. I hope that you enjoyed it, or at least you didn't hate it, and you'll hear from me next year.